that penalty, that 90-day penalty, as Tom was saying, for deliberately misleading the House, deliberately misleading the committee, breaching confidences, impugning the committee, and thereby undermining the democratic process of the House, being complicit in the campaign of abuse and attempted intimidation of the committee. And they also recommend that he doesn't get a former member's pass.
And John Bercow didn't have one either. I think there's another example of that. Look, I think the committee is right, and Boris Johnson is guilty on all counts, according to what we've seen from the report so far. I had a chance to skim it, as Tom has. Haven't seen the full thing yet. But look, I mean, we've had Boris Johnson releasing his own version of events before the committee publishes its report. That is a no-no in Parliament. The committee has the right to publish its report first. He had the opportunity to influence it and to seek to make corrections, which he may have done or may not have done, depending on how you interpret what he said to the committee. But he had to wait for the committee's report to come out. Instead, he attempted to preempt a committee, to make the story his story, to cause a by-election. He wasn't forced out of the House by the committee. The committee makes a recommendation to Parliament, which then decides what to do about the committee's report. He could have ignored it. And then, even at that stage, there would be a recall petition on his constituents' side. So there's no way he was forced out by Harriet Harman or anyone else. This is a committee with a Tory majority on it, and he's now attacking Harriet Harman, attacking Bernard Jenkins. He reminds me of Donald Trump, who was talking about witch hunts all the time and kangaroo court. Everybody's guilty apart from him, it seems. There's a massive conspiracy of everybody.
Norman, would that be a deliberate comparison? Would Trump be a mentor for him? Would he be studying Trump, or is that just coincidental?
No, I think he's learned from him. I think he has, because what Trump has done is made himself a victim, and he's managed to corral a large part of the American population to believe that to be the case. And I think that's what Boris is doing here.
Well, let's just read some of the response from Boris Johnson. He says, "This report is a charade. This is a dreadful day for MPs and for democracy. I do not have the slightest contempt for Parliament." He says, "For the Privileges Committee to use its prerogatives in an anti-democratic way to bring about what is intended to be the final knife thrust in a protracted political assassination, that is beneath contempt. It's for the people of this country to decide who sits in Parliament, not Harriet Harman."
Well, the people of his constituents, he could have decided, had he stayed an MP and had a recall petition served upon him. I think it's disgraceful to attack the committee in this way. They've sat for over a year, about a year. They've got Conservative majority. They've got respected members of Parliament who are well established. And if we're going to have people, including a former Prime Minister, dismissing a committee like that, that's just beyond the pale.
You say a former Prime Minister, that doesn't sound the language of a man who's decided to put his tail between his legs and go and hide in a dark corner, though.
No, he doesn't. I mean, I think he wants to come back. I think what he wants to do, frankly, is to damage the Conservative Party, so Rishi Sunak loses the election. He then wants to present himself as a prince over the water and come back on a charger after the next election to, quote, save the Conservative